Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Legion Live, where Norm and I talk to you about e-commerce stuff.
You caught me off guard.
I surprised you. So we're going to talk about the Vine program. The Vine program, we actually did a YouTube video on it last year, and it's one of the ones that gets watched the most. And we're like, man, people must be interested in the Vine program. We looked around, there wasn't a lot of information, but the Vine program can be monstrously beneficial for your Amazon product. I won't even say your Amazon launch. Just your Amazon product. So, Norm, you actually misquoted the price on this earlier. You said $60. Yeah. I said, no. That wasn't Vine. That was the early reviewer program. So to make sure that we are clarifying, can you briefly explain what the early reviewer program is? Because some people get these two confused, and then we'll jump into what the Vine is.
Sure. So the early reviewer program allowed you, if you were a new seller, to come up and get some reviews. So you'd have to pay. I think, Tim, like we were just talking about this, I think it was pretty costly. It was $60 per review, and it gave you a handful worth of
per review, though. So I didn't think it was that expensive. Basically, Amazon would solicit seller or buyers and say, "Hey, give us a review, give us a review, give us a review," and they would charge $60 or $55 per review, up to 5.
Right. But you know what? What I found, like if you even with today's listings, as long as they looked great, you would get that sort of organically. So I never saw the benefit of that early reviewer program.
Yeah, I never did either. But they canceled it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The point is, we are not talking about the early reviewer program. We're talking about Vine program. Now, when Norm and I were fact checking ourselves before we got on this live, we wanted to make sure that we were explaining things correctly in 2022. And it became fairly apparent that there's actually two sides of the Vine program to explain. There's the reviewer side and then us, the seller side. So first off, we want to describe what the Vine program is as a reviewer, as a consumer, as a buyer on Amazon. So do you want to tackle that, Norm? Do you want me to?
Why don't you go ahead? I know you put out an incredible video the other day. Like you said, it's one of our more popular. So you could probably fill in those gaps.
Yeah. So basically, Amazon is finding good reviewers, and they're trying to bring them in as professional reviewers. The way that Amazon defines you as a good reviewer is if you leave a lot of reviews for verified purchases, and then those reviews are upvoted as helpful to the community, right? So you've seen that when people leave a review and they get the thumbs up, the thumbs down. Was this helpful? You can say yes. So there are just some people out there that are naturally good reviewers. If you do become one of those good reviewers and you may be invited to, or you could find out about the Vine program, you can actually apply to become a reviewer, which is what they call a Vine voice, a Vine voice. Now, essentially what that means is that you are credible enough to Amazon. You're qualified enough to be that reviewer. So once they send those invitations out, you can get signed up for that. What's interesting is they don't pay you for that, but they do give you free products. And there are a lot of people that will give an unbiased opinion just to get a free products. So essentially, if you're a KDP book writer, if you're a brand owner that sells physical products, if you sell software, like anything that's sold on Amazon, you can essentially volunteer your products as tribute to be offered to these verified, qualified, and credible Vine voices, aka reviewers, and they'll review your product. How am I doing so far, Norm?
You're doing great. But one thing I wanted to mention, though, is this is not something that is a guaranteed great 5-star review. I've like when we've used the Vine program, you're thinking, oh, this is going to be great. And then all of a sudden you see a 3-star honest and unbiased review. So sometimes it can come back and bite you, but sometimes those 2, 3, 4-star reviews help really show a trust factor in your product. So even though it's not 5-star, people look at those, 3-star reviews and say, these are the ones that I can trust.
Yes. So there is some risk, right? Mm-hmm. If you have a crap product and you throw it out there, you're going to get a bad review, right? You just are. But if you have a good product, it's pretty nice because you are incentivizing people to actually do your reviews. So instead of waiting for people to actually buy the product, you can or Amazon will proactively send them an offer, say, hey, we have a new product that we want you to check for us, to leave a review, to test it for us. What else is cool is if you are in the Vine program, you can actually have your products sent to reviewers before the product is even live. So these reviewers can be the first one to check out your product. And when you launch, you can potentially have reviews. Now, if I'm a Vine voice, I also am going to be expected to leave a detailed review, right? So I'm usually going to write longer. I'm going to send more information. It's going to be good. And then my review gets a little Vine Voices or Vine program badge. It's little green text beside the review. And those are usually upvoted pretty well. So you've got your more descriptive reviews at the top. So that's what it looks like from a reviewer. You can be invited into this program for being a good reviewer. You get the first look at different products, and you get free products in exchange for your unbiased and actual review. Anything else I'm forgetting?
I think you covered it.
All right. So I know that you've used the Vine program, right?
Yeah.
When did you start using it? Do you remember?
I'm probably off on this, but I probably would say 2 years. I don't know.
It kind of came out right after the early reviewer program stopped.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the criteria for actually being enrolled into the Vine program and being able to actually put your products up for recognition or for review in this program.
All right. So the very first thing is you have to be a professional seller. So that's a no-brainer. But you also, and this is just another great reason to get involved with brand registry. So brand registry is a must. You have to also be identified as the brand owner. So that goes back to brand registry, trademark, and you have to have eligible FBA offers. So that's how you get into participating as a seller in the Vine program.
And
now I can go on and talk about products that you can participate with if you like, or we could talk about this for a bit more.
No, talk about the products. And I want a spoiler alert. Norm, you cannot have your sex toys enrolled in the Vine program, right? No adult toys. But you go ahead and talk about the rest of the criteria. I just wanted to put the spoiler alert out there that Norm is severely depressed about. But go ahead.
You always have some point during these lives that you make my glasses steam up. And it's not just because I'm on this with you. But I turn red, you end up laughing, and now you get steamy glasses. So, okay. All right. What does it take to get, what's the criteria for your product to be in? So we just talked about it, Amazon brand registry, of course, but you have to have fewer than 30 reviews. So if you already got it out there and you've had, maybe you're not having great success, but you have 100 reviews, this is not for you. But if it is a new launch and you're just getting it out there, under 30 reviews, you'll be fine. The other thing, this is a no-brainer as well. It's got to be labeled as a new product. Like Tim just mentioned, it can't be in the adult category. And let me see.
It's got to be FBA.
It's got to be FBA, and you have to have inventory. If you're running out of inventory, don't even bother.
And it's got to be new.
Your image has to match the description.
Yeah.
That's it.
So let's talk about cost, because for all intents and purposes, this is pretty powerful stuff. And I love it because you can basically give free products for a review, which is going to be much faster than getting organic reviews. The reviews are going to be given by the Vine voices, which have higher credibility and higher likelihood to be placed at the top of your reviews. So if it is a good product, you're just giving away a product for review. Like, this is great, especially if you can do those giveaways and get the reviews prior to your initial launch. Imagine on launch day if you had 6 reviews, right? Now, if you've got more than 30 reviews, you can't go back and do it. If you've had a product out for a year and it's only got 6 reviews, you can go back and do it. Let's talk about cost, because this is valuable. When this program first launched, it was $2,500, if I remember right. $2,500 to enroll in the Vine program, and that would be per parent ASIN. Okay, so not variations, but per ASIN, it was $2,500. Then when the early reviewer program disappeared about that time and everybody's all ticked off, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Amazon wanted to get adoption Vine. They made it free. Now, Norm, how would you have liked to have been the guy that paid $5,000 on a Monday to get two products in the Vine program, and then Tuesday they announced, oh, it's free now? Because that's the kind of thing that would have happened to me.
I would have lost my hair. Well, that's what happened.
So it did happen to you. It was free for a while. It's not anymore. Right now, it's about $200 per parent ASIN. Still not bad, because that will get you up to 30 reviews, which is great. You get to control how many products you give away. And I will say it's $200 plus the cost of the product. So if I give away 10 products that cost me $20 each, that's another $200. You're giving away the inventory. But in my opinion, I love it. Since Amazon is cracking down based on the US government's crackdown, and even the EU and UK are pushing hard on fake reviews and all of that good stuff, there really isn't a better way to get reviews. Like, this is it. This is the go-to method. This is the tried and true method. And this is what we endorse. It's what we support. And it's what seems to be working as good as anything else.
I just saw a comment in here from Pen 8 talking about having a $300 product or that value. We've got to keep in mind that $300 value. What is it coming in at? Is it a $50 cost of goods? I don't know. But it's the same as any product. If you want to get those reviews, you're go up to 30 reviews, it's a way to go. Now, with a larger dollar value like this, it's tougher. But I have a product that has a $200 to $250. It's actually $150 to $250 value. And I would definitely use this because you want to have those reviews for a jump start. And that's actually a very inexpensive way of doing it, because if people were doing this in the past and they were doing search, find, buy, or they were doing rebates, those rebates, that cost would have been built into there too. So it's either $3 up to $20 or $30 per rebate, and that wasn't kosher. So this is kosher. You get high quality people that are writing it. Now you have to remember it's honest and unbiased. So it is still a bit of a chance, but I wouldn't worry about it. And put it this way, you spend $200 to get into the program. You don't have to give away 30. Maybe you want 5 reviews to get started.
Yep, absolutely agree. So moral of the story, check it out. I think that it's worth it. I think that it's highly valuable, and I think it's the best system we've got so far.
Right. Yep. And
cool.
One other thing, Tim, if you have a good listing, well optimized, that's all going to, again, play in your favor, because you're going to get organic reviews ranging from around 4 to 7% at the high, I would think. That's what we're seeing. The lower end, 4% to 7%.
Yep. I love it. All right. So let's see here. Yep. That's it. I've checked all the notes. I don't see anything else. I think that's it. That'll wrap. All right. Thank you all for listening. Make sure you're part of our Facebook community, Private Label Legion. Also, the Selling on Walmart Marketplace Facebook group. If you're interested in selling on Walmart, we have our lovely partner McCall that drops info there. And Norm, I'm going to see you in like 3 days. Norm and I later this week are heading down to Miami to jump on the Amazon Sellers Cruise hosted by our buddy Carlos Alvarez.
That's
so next week we'll be at sea. We'll try to do a Legion Live if we can get good internet, but we're going to be somewhere in the middle of the Caribbean this time a week from now. So we make no promises. Kelsey, don't be pissed if we miss one. We're sorry. Maybe we can do it later. Kelsey's mostly just pissed he's not going on the cruise.
Yep, that's right.
All right. Well, thank you all for being on. We'll see you on next week's Legion Live. And if you're watching on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up on that video. See you. Bye.
See you later.